Good evening. Is my mic on? Yes, it is. We are thrilled to welcome you all to this gathering that marks the first meeting of the 6 Osher Centers as the Osher Collaborative for Integrative Medicine. We would, of course, yes. We would, of course, not be here today without Mr. Bernard Osher, who had the vision of funding the 6 Osher Centers, first at UCSF, and then Harvard Medical School, then the Karolinska Institute, then Northwestern and Vanderbilt universities, and finally the University of Miami. Then linking these centers in a collaborative network and providing the resources to support this network. The vision of a coordinated network of centers is totally fitting with what integrative medicine means, because integration is the opposite of separation. In other words, integrative medicine is a team sport. It doesn't happen when people stay in their own corner. And this is true both within integrative medicine and also across to the whole academic medicine community. It means that people have to get along and work together and communicate. And when the language and science don't exist for this communication to occur, we need to create the language and we need to do the science so that we can understand each other. So in order to fulfill, for integrative medicine to fulfill its vision, the spirit of collaboration needs to start locally within each institution. Here at Harvard Medical School, we have a great opportunity and also a great challenge in this regard. That's because there's such a large number of integrative medicine centers that are dispersed throughout all the teaching hospitals associated with the medical school. In addition to the Osher Center, which is jointly based at Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital, there is the Benson Henry Institute at the Mass General Hospital. There is the Zagum Center at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. There's the Chang and Sui Center at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. There are integrative medicine programs at Boston Children's Hospital and Spalding's Rehabilitation Hospital. So in response to this challenge/opportunity, the Osher Center was restructured in 2010 as a center without walls, with the goal of using the resources of the Osher Center to help the Harvard Integrative Medicine Centers to work together. As a first step, we created clinical and research network maps that live on our website. These maps show the vibrant network of integrative medicine that exists both in the clinical realm and the research realm. And I'm delighted that many of the people on these maps were able to join us today. And it doesn't stop here, as we have major integrative medicine centers right next door at Boston Medical Center and Tufts and the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy. And we are happy to have leaders from these schools here as well. We're therefore delighted that this reception creates the opportunity for our Boston colleagues to meet the members of our extended Osher family. Now, throughout the history of the Harvard Osher Center, we have been very fortunate to have the steadfast support from Harvard Medical School deans. First, from Dean Joe Martin when the Osher Center was first formed in 2002. Then Dean Jeffrey Flyer during the transition of the center to its Center Without Walls in 2010. And now the current Dean of Harvard Medical School, Dean George Daley. And we are delighted that Dean Daley was able to join us today and say a few words. You can use that,
Is that
or you
one
can
working?
use the mic. It works, so it's tested.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Helene. Thank you for your leadership. It's wonderful to be here. I have had the pleasure of anticipating this meeting for some 14 months. When I first met Barney Osher at a lunch in Maine, in his native Maine, love of Maine, I think we both share, and I've been really looking forward to the opportunity to welcome you here to Harvard Medical School, and it's absolutely spectacular to see what kind of network you've built of these centers around the globe. And I think it's very, very impressive as we look at the interaction map to recognize how impactful this has been on our community and on the ability to weave together the disparate elements that are all targeted at this idea of integrative medicine. And I, for one, as dean, and one of my priorities is really making it clear that when we at Harvard work as a community, we are so much stronger than if we're working independently. When we all work together, there is no greater density of innovation than is here in Boston. So introducing myself again, because I am a relatively new dean, I took over in January, and this is one of the many interesting new avenues, the new areas of excellence that I've learned about that Harvard is pioneering and making such a difference in. But what I see today is I realize that you have come here from all corners of the globe, and it's really quite remarkable. I hope that by bringing you all together here as part of this Osher Collaborative, that you're going to be able to use this opportunity to develop new and important collaborations. And in the future, we'll be able to develop a connectivity map that shows actually the connections and collaborations that are occurring amongst all of the different Osher centers around this country and around the globe. The world that science reveals, it's infinitely complex. And human health is clearly determined by a cascade of interactions. And those interactions range in scale from the collisions that occur between single molecules to the tidal forces of social and economic change that impact all of our global population. That complexity really requires that we take an integrative approach, that we take a collaborative approach. We work together across academic disciplines, across borders, and across all of the categories and labels that often separate and isolate scientists and isolate clinicians and fundamentally isolate cures from one another. When we do science and we embrace complexity, we often end up in unexpected places, and it's very much a journey that's worth taking. So I'm deeply grateful. I'm deeply grateful to the leadership of the Osher Center, to the ability of Harvard Medical School to work so closely with the Brigham and Women's Hospital and now with our other coordinated centers across this community. The goal is really to nurture a truly innovative program that's going to encourage us to rethink the conventional approaches to translational medicine and really to work beyond the limits of labels like conventional and beyond the limits of labels like alternative. So I also want to make sure that we reach out and thank our special guest, Barney Osher, whose visionary philanthropy has really sparked this crucial conversation that's happening here at Harvard and fundamentally happening across these fabulous institutions, which your philanthropy has brought together. I want to recognize the Osher Foundation, the leadership of that foundation for being a valued partner in our shared mission. And that mission is really to bring to bear all possibilities, fundamentally at the goal of relieving human suffering, because that's really what we're all about. Harvard Medical School embraces that commitment, which is really to increase wellness and bring the full potential of the healing arts to people all around the world. So the ongoing center work, the work that's at the Osher Center at Harvard and the Brigham and Women's, and now increasingly across the community, it has done so much to strengthen the network that connects researchers and clinicians working on integrative medicine across the Harvard community and all of our many affiliated hospitals. So it's really a global scale that we're recognizing. The Osher Collaborative, it's a global collaborative, and it's bringing together some of the greatest minds working in integrative medicine from around the world in ways that are amplifying the impact of any one individual. as a collective network, it's that much more powerful. So I, for one, have been singing the ambitions of collaboration. It's one of the themes of my deanship. I really feel that it's this kind of collaboration, this kind of transformative, interactive network that is really going to allow us to truly advance the most compassionate and effective biomedical research. Really, Barney, if you remember the lunch we had with Herb Sandler, much of the conversation was about the perception that we weren't working together strongly enough as a community at Harvard and even beyond. And I've been inspired by that. And so I'm here today to say that this is an example of that, and it's a way that you have had an impact on me, and you will have an impact on the Harvard community and beyond for many years to come. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you so much, Dean Daley. And I have to say, you're going to get your wish because I'm going to be unveiling and demonstrating the Osher Collaborative Network Map right here tonight.
Oh, sorry.
But before I do that,
I wasn't even prepped.
yeah, but here we go. I know, it was perfect. So before I do that, I would like to introduce Dr. David Golan, who is the Dean of Graduate Education, Basic Science, and Global Studies at Harvard Medical School. So in case he's not busy enough with all of these responsibilities, Dr. Golan has found the time and energy to be a tireless champion of the Osher Center. And he's the one who is responsible for the vision that made it possible for the Osher Center to transform into the center without walls that it is today.
Well, thank you, Helene, for that very generous introduction, and good afternoon to everyone. I'm really delighted to add my welcome to that of Dean George Daley, and my heartiest congratulations for this most auspicious forum of the Osher Collaborative, the first forum. This is indeed a wonderful milestone in the history of integrative medicine worldwide, as promoted through the steadfast commitment of Mr. Osher and the Osher Foundation. So as Helene has already related, the Osher Center for Integrative Medicine at Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital underwent a substantial transformation some 5 to 7 years ago. Prior to this transformation, the work of the center, funded by generous gifts from the Osher Foundation to Harvard and the Brigham, had of course been highly successful. The center had supported world-class research in integrative medicine, a T32 fellowship program that was a national model, and an innovative and successful clinic. And it had fantastic leadership in the presence of David Eisenberg, who, happy to say, is here today. But when Helene assumed the directorship of the center, she had the vision to create from this strong foundation a true center without walls that could reach across all the institutions affiliated with Harvard and the Brigham. She built the connections one by one, and now some years later, you see the result. Our Osher Center, while maintaining its excellence in NIH-funded integrative medicine research and fellowship training, has added to its portfolio significant training for medical students, graduate students, residents, fellows, and junior faculty as well. And the clinic at the Brigham is thriving as never before, incorporating a substantial research and training mission along with long-standing clinical service. Most importantly, the center has maintained its focus on integrative medicine research training and clinical service while building a truly impressive network of researchers, educators, students, trainees, and healthcare providers across the medical school, the Brigham, and all of our affiliated institutions. So congratulations to Helene and the entire team for a job extremely well done. We can't wait to see what you've planned next. Now, most gratifyingly, yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Now, most gratifyingly, this concept of collaboration across boundaries is now being strengthened in a major way by the work of the Osher Collaborative. When I was first introduced to Mr. Osher and the Osher Foundation, I believe there were centers in Boston, San Francisco, and Stockholm. And these centers got together from time to time to share best practices and discuss topics of mutual interest. Now, every time I meet with Helene, I hear about some new Osher Center opening somewhere in the country, and I hear about some new way in which the Osher Centers are coming together, not just to share best practices, but to transform the face of integrative medicine worldwide. Indeed, I think it's fair to say that our Osher Centers collectively are making a real difference in how health and wellness are being conceived and practiced across the globe. And this is all thanks to the wisdom and generosity of Mr. Osher and the Osher Foundation, and to the vision, creativity, and hard work of all of you in this room. We couldn't be more excited to be part of this phenomenal effort. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of the meetings.
Thank you so much, David, for your unwavering support over all these years. Now, this year also marks the 10th anniversary of our clinic, the Osher Clinical Center, that opened in 2007 at Brigham and Women's Hospital. We are very fortunate that the president of Brigham and Women's Hospital, Dr. Betsy Nabel, will be able to join us at 6 o'clock to celebrate this event. So now, as part of the support for the coordinating center, the Osher Foundation provided funding for building a new network map spanning the Osher Collaborative, which I will now demonstrate. So this map lives on the Osher Collaborative website. And I will now go live. And so this map illustrates the various, so first of all of the different centers, UCSF, Northwestern, Harvard, Karolinska Institute, Vanderbilt, and University of Miami. And you can see how there are all these various dots that represent different areas of interest. For example, pediatrics, here nutrition, natural products. Here you have different people and you see their connections to both their institution and also to the areas where they either practice or do research. Now, the nice thing about this map is that it actually is one increment better than ours that we had here, and it has a nice filter system so that you can actually select people by either their mission area, for example, if they're predominantly clinicians. So you can see now you are seeing just the clinicians. If you want to see the clinicians and the researchers, you will add some people to the map. And if you only want to see the researchers, you can take the clinicians out, and then there you go. You can also filtrate by role. For example, if you want faculty members, now you have now all the research faculty members. And you can also search by health topics. So for example, if you want to look at people who are interested in cancer, so you now have the research faculty members who are interested in cancer. Or you can also look by therapeutic modality, for example, if people who are interested in, say, acupuncture here. So here are, oops, I selected two. But anyway, you can see this is whole healing traditions, and here's this acupuncture. So it's a very nice map in a sense that it's very functional. It allows people to find each other, and it allows you to see the connections that both exist and also the connections that are lacking across institutions. So I would now like to introduce the person whose responsibility it is to help all of these people to work together across the Osher Collaborative. Nicole Bloom is the director of the Osher Integrative Medicine Coordinating Center that was just recently generously endowed by the Osher Foundation. For the past year, Nicole has moved mountains. She created and implemented an operating structure for the Osher Collaborative. She launched the Osher Collaborative website and worked tirelessly with us to create this network map. Nicole's energy and enthusiasm is only rivaled by her good humor as she shepherds us towards common goals. I know I can speak for my colleagues in thanking Nicole for the hard work that she has done all year, culminating in this meeting. And I would therefore like to invite Nicole to come and give a toast.
Thank you so much, Helene. And I would just mostly like to express my gratitude in a general sense on behalf of everybody, because as has been said, I will only echo, and I get to facilitate this effort that is really coming from each and every one who is present here and way beyond this room. So it is my privilege to offer the toast to everybody who has supported these efforts. Thank you to the deans, thank you to Mr. Osher, thank you to the Osher Foundation, to the visionaries, to the mutual inspiring relationships, individuals, to the centers, each and every Osher center, but also each and every integrative medicine idea and practitioner and researcher and educator. It is truly the ultimate idea to work together towards something that is such a clear ideal and benefit to all. So here is a toast to intelligent, heartfelt dedication towards health and well-being and making it real through integrative medicine.